presidency has blamed Nigerians for the country's poor ranking on Transparency International's 2020 Corruption Perception Index. Some reporters have reported how Nigeria dropped 3 places and scored lower in points than in the previous year's record regarding corruption rating. Garba Shehu, presidential spokesman, described the report as an indictment on Nigerians and not on President Muhammadu Buhari. The fresh Transparency International CPI says Nigeria scored 25 over 100, which is 1 point less than its 26 points in the previous year. It says Nigeria is now 149 out of 180 countries, a record that is 3 steps lower than its rank of 146 in 2019. However, speaking on the ranking on Channel Television Sunrise Daily program on Monday, Shehu said, "I will tell you that this one by Transparency International is not a judgment on Buhari or his administration or its war against corruption. I will tell you that this one is judgment on Nigerians, because if you look at the indices they use at arriving at these conclusions, they use 8 indices, 6 of which showed Nigeria as being more or less Nigeria in the same position. The 2 that they dwell on that cause this backslide are essentially Nigerian problems. They are talking about the political culture of this country, vote buying, thuggery. Is it Buhari that is a thug? We are not doing thuggery." And when they talk about the justice sector, they are talking about perceived corruption in the judiciary. These perceptions are essentially not correct. Yes, there are issues in that sector, but so many changes are going on in that sector. Wouldn't it have been nice if they acknowledge it so that you encourage those judicial officers that are upright, and then the system gets better? You can imagine what this person is saying. So the blame is not it's not Buhari's blame. It's as a result of the Nigerian people. You people are the corrupt people. So that is what they are basing their judgments on. So don't hold Buhari responsible for this whole thing. Buhari's regime. Hi, these people, don't see. Who are the presidency? Are they now afraid of their identity? Garba Shehu was thinking of what to say since a Transparency International rating came out after days of denial. That guy can lie. Lai Mohammed, second in command. Garba Shehu, keep sniffing cow dung as usual. Your family and generations unborn will severely pay for your folly and stupidity. Your comment always thinks and tingles sane minds. When it is favorable, it is the presidency, but when it is not favorable, it is Nigerians. These people can blame the dead. Very confused, criminal and biased presidency. Let me see your hands up if you are not surprised by this news. Hey. If they leave these people, they will blame Jesus Christ. Wrong. It is an indictment on the president's non-existent but much touted or mouthed fight against corruption. I believe those who elected APC and those die-hard members can now see how foolish their decision is. How can you beat the hand that fed you? So the blame on PDP 16 years is over. Now it is the Nigerian citizens' turn to be blamed for your stupidity. Can you imagine? They are talking about a country. You are not selected as the president. Is not the president's fault. It is the masses, because Buhari is not involved in thuggery. They don't do thuggery. Sometimes I used to think if it is Gary that is inside Gaba's head or brain, he always talk from his anus. Hi, can you imagine? Very soon, you will blame God for your dullness and poor education you receive from Daura, bunch of irresponsible leaders. Are we the commoners? The lawmaker or chief prosecutor? Are the common Nigerians the policy implementers? At your emergence, Mr. President, or the presidency, we all thought magic is going to happen to the extent even police at the checking point vacate their position. After about 3 months, everybody went back to their position and everything went worse from its former state. May God redeem Nigeria from her current state of woe. I think he's making mistake for such comments. Is it Nigeria that rules the country with you or share those billions with you? Let your mind judge you. I pity you people because you don't know what you are doing. Keep stealing and expect to be among less corrupt nations. The young guy doesn't actually know what he signed. The late Buhari would have asked them what he was about to sign before that. This young guy man doesn't fall sick since anymore. He doesn't go for checkup anymore. Nobody hears about Buhari's wife and family anymore. Unamumu never do. Nigerians. Can you imagine that? Blaming Nigerians for your failure and incompetence. This is unbelievable. I blame our shameless judiciary for all this. Yes, now, under Buhari's nose, Nigeria has witnessed an unprecedented next level of corruption. Just a few days ago, Nigeria achieved another feat in the corruption ranking. So APC has finally stopped putting blame on PDP. So the blame is now on Nigerians. Nigerians, it is your fault. It is not the fault of Buhari's government. Gabashew is a special kind of animal. The kind of animal oppressors love to use before discarding them like sewage. Gabashew, and who is the leader of the country called Nigeria? How can you absorb leadership from performance? You still want us to be in the same country? Think again. We understand very well the rating is for Nigerians. Please, they should just tell us what nationality is Buhari. When is Buhari gonna come live on TV to refute this claim? Why is Gabashew always doing that for Buhari if he is not incapacitated or demented to understand the implication of such rating? Politicians and government office holders are the yardstick used for analyzing and evaluating the rate of corruption in Nigeria. But now the blame is on Nigerians. Well, I guess they ran out of people and groups to blame. They had to come to us to receive the blame. Well, it is not your fault, we Nigeria. It is our fault, we Nigerians. The guy has no knowledge on leadership. When they were not in government, they blamed Jonathan for everything. They are blaming Nigerians. What a shame. I don't know what the Gabashew feeds on. Is it stupidity, ineptitude, psychophancy, or is just unwittingly typing and posting stuff? Why can't he accept the fact that he and his boss have failed at the grand stage? This information and their blame game is sickening. So we shouldn't blame Mr. Integrity, who is fighting corruption, just because you people are obviously making this country regress. And people have started talking. These guys can't just take responsibility for once instead of pointing fingers. And that is where we have found ourselves today. So guys, let's hear your opinion on this.